I've made a mistake. I've been talking about erectile dysfunction, weak erection, premature ejaculation, causes of weak erection, solutions, and I have never told you how an erection happened in the first place. I apologize. It's not proper. It's like a mechanic who only knows about fixing problems and doesn't know how an engine runs in the first place. And so today we will be looking at the science of an erection, how an erection happens from the beginning to the end. And so if you know how it works, you will know exactly where the problem is coming from, and it will be very easy for you to prevent it and to fix it if it happens. First, it all starts in the brain. Yes, you must have heard people say sex starts in the mind and not in the joystick. And it's very true. An erection starts up here before going down there. 4 things trigger and signal an erection. Number 1, sight. What you see. So if you see something that is pleasing to you sexually. Number 2, what you hear. If you hear something that is erotic. Number 3, touch. So if you're touched physically. Number 4, imagination. And sometimes there is no physical signal, only psychological signal. That is sufficient to trigger the brain to start the erection process. And immediately all the important hormones and chemicals get to work. We are talking testosterone, dopamine, oxytocin, and the brain sends signals from the head down through the spine to the pelvis, to the waist region, and into the penis, the joystick. These nerves or wires that connect the brain down to your penis release nitric oxide. And you've always heard me talk about nitric oxide. That is how powerful it is. It is the initiator of the entire process. Nitric oxide causes the muscles in your joystick and in your blood vessels to relax. And when they relax, the blood vessels will now open, widen. So nitric oxide causes the blood vessels to open up down there. This opening makes blood to rush into the penis, and immediately blood rushes in there, it contracts at the base of the penis to trap blood inside there, and also locks up all the veins to prevent blood coming out of the penis. And so the penis becomes turgid, hard, rigid. Why? Because blood is trapped in there. And apart from that, the penis has tissues that are like sponges. They will suck in all of the blood vessels and even make it harder. The penis will become as hard as a bone and can even fracture. That's the power of this hydraulic system that God installed down there. 2 things helps this entire setup to stay that way: continuous mental stimulation and continuous physical stimulation. The person is continuously stimulated or stays stimulated, the whole thing will stay trapped that way, because all the hormones, testosterone and the dopamine and the oxytocin, nitric oxide are all being released constantly. The blood will stay in there. That will help you last longer and also maintain an erection longer. I'm sure by now you start seeing where all your problems come from. So when the stimulation stops or something affects the psychology, maybe anxiety, fear, or something makes you feel bad or something, and that psychological stimulation stops, poof, the blood that is trapped in there is released. Or if physical stimulation stops, poof, the blood that is trapped in there is released. If there's an ejaculation, a release, poof, the blood that's trapped in there gets released. How? Simple. The entire process is reversed. Nitric oxide, remember, now goes down, and when nitric oxide goes down, the muscles will now contract, and then pushing the blood, releasing the outlet, and the blood is removed back, and everything goes back to normal. That's why you see you lose your erection after ejaculation. So now you see, when you have an erection, several key players are involved. Your brain is involved. It has to be in a good state. Nerves, the wires that take signals from the brain down to your joystick, have to be working properly. Your blood vessels, the channels, the tubes that carry blood have to be working properly. The chemicals that trigger this entire process, testosterone, your nitric oxide, all have to be working properly. Your muscles have to be working properly. Your tissues also have to be working properly. And the good chemicals have to be up. The chemicals you don't want have to be down, like cortisol have to be down. And so where exactly is your problem coming from? It could be coming from the brain. The initial stimulation, you are too stressed. And when you are stressed with cortisol high, the entire process will not even start in the first place. That's That's why you see there is no desire for sex. Or even if there is desire, you cannot have an erection. Why? The entire process didn't even start in the first place. That's why sometimes you see you have a desire and you can't get it up. So the desire is there. The entire process is happening in the brain. Electricity and signals have been sent from the brain through your spine to your pelvis to your joystick. However, nitric oxide is what will make the muscles to relax and the blood vessels to open for blood to enter. No enough nitric oxide, and because of that you have desire and you can't get it up. You are horny but you can't have an erection. Or maybe you have an erection and it dies back immediately. How? It opens up, blood fills in your joystick but immediately goes out again and then it falls. Why? The mechanism that clamps blood and holds blood down there is failing, right? So it could be that your nitric oxide is also very low, and because of that immediately you have an erection, it falls because the blood flows in to your joystick and flows out. So you can see how anxiety, stress, depression can affect your psychology, because again we say psychology and your mind is the initiator and the maintainer, because you can have an erection if there's a negative feeling like anxiety. Hey, will I last long? Hey, that alone will cause cortisol to be released and open the floodgates and the blood that is trapped in your penis will be removed. And things like diabetes can affect your nerves. Things like hypertension can affect your blood vessels. Alcohol can affect your blood vessels and your nerves. Smoking can damage the blood vessels. Poor diet or unhealthy diet, processed diet, high sugar diet, and all those stuff can affect your insulin, can affect your hormones, the chemicals, and so on and so forth. And so you know exactly what to do. And if you click here, solutions. So if you click here, you watch videos that will give you solutions to your erectile dysfunction and weak erection problems. Click here and watch it. It's free. Take charge of your health and happiness. Stay strong, and I'll see you in the next.